Alright, so today I'm going to talk about Fire Force, which is not something I generally talk about. And normally, if you know, I watch One Piece, but today I just want to talk a bit about Fire Force because I don't really see many people talk about Fire Force out there. And the very few times people talk about it, no one's really saying it's great or anything like that. So I'm just want to give my own thoughts. And if you haven't watched Fire Force yourself, maybe this will help you get an idea of if you should or if you shouldn't, and also why I also think so. Now, for me, I watched the anime and I just finished the second season. Of course, I fell behind about like somewhere in November. So I just had I think 6 episodes to catch up. But I finally finished the second season and I really like it. Honestly, I personally like it. I think it's a great series and it has everything you could like you would typically like in a shonen anime. I think classic shonen has everything you could typically like. Like the story is really nice, has good mystery into it. You can think about stuff. If you like to make theories, you can go ahead and do that. Nothing is too straightforward as far as the mystery in the story. It's not like, oh, well, obviously that's the case. It's really great for that. Also the power system, right? Fire Force, fire. Not really a spoiler, but it's fire and, everyone in the series, their power is kind of related to that idea of fire. And so all the different takes, there's different people with specially different powers linked to fire and all that kind of stuff. And just the creativity from that is just incredible. There's stuff which you wouldn't even think about is related to fire. And so that's also partly where science comes in. So if you're someone who's interested in kind of the physics or the chemistry of some stuff, that's a great series to watch because they talk about how some things are possible. They even go into some deep physics at some point with some, quantum physics and stuff that's only possible, light speed stuff and all that kind of things. So it's really great on that front as well. Interesting characters, oddball characters, happy-go-lucky characters, dark characters, cool characters, emo characters, everything that you want from old men to young people to fan service characters. They have it all, right? Fire Force has all of that, everything you want. But I will also talk about the side that, makes Fire Force not that great because, as far as all these things that I've been talking about, Fire Force is just as good as any other top tier anime you would say out there, right? Any of your Naruto's, Hunter x Hunters, Attack on Titans, One Pieces, any series that you think as well is top tier, Fire Force is just as good, except for in this one aspect, which makes it seem significantly not as good. And it depends how much you value this one aspect as well. And this aspect is a theme. And not just any theme, an overarching theme that's very clear in the story. Fire Force does not have that, right? Of course, you could go in and try to look for one, but the fact that you have to look so deeply for one proves my point that it just doesn't have that. And I think that is what's missing. And the reason why that is, may be important on some levels, that's what really creates your connection to the story, right? So when you're looking for a story that really touches you and you're in some kind of a place in your life, the theme in the story is what does that, right? But Fire Force doesn't have that overarching theme. If you look at One Piece talks about freedom. The pursuit of freedom, what it means to be free, to pursue your own dreams kind of thing. And every arc in One Piece, every character, no matter what's going on, they'll always be linked back to this idea of freedom and the meaning of freedom. There's even a quote in the series that talks about people looking for the meaning of freedom, right? So One Piece is always going to be about that. And, as much as there are other themes that come into the story, all these other little stuff in different arcs and with different characters, it will always come back to freedom at the end of the day. That would be the main one. Right? Similar thing with Attack on Titan. I say that because that's what's popular right now. Attack on Titan is all about survival. And there will be a lot of other stuff, but survival is the main thing. Talking about, what spurs people on to continue this pursuit of survival, to continue pursuing, freedom over death, to continue pursuing all these other things that they do in the series is always about survival. It comes back to that at the end of the day. Right? But Fire Force doesn't have that. Fire Force doesn't have this overarching theme that's going to tie all the characters together and really create that deep connection for you. And if you're someone who's looking for an anime that's going to do that for you, Fire Force won't. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. It won't do that for you. But if you're looking for an anime that you can enjoy, good story, good characters, interesting powers, interesting direction which the story is going. It's not very clear to see that this is obviously going to happen or this is obviously going to happen. It will have that. Interesting training, interesting arcs, you know, meeting all kinds of people in the story. A story which is, you know, would at face value seem very like not diverse, ends up being really diverse as far as characters, as far as, you know, culture, as far as other things it, you know, incorporates. It has that. And if you just want, you know, something that you're not going to pay too much attention to, you can just enjoy it at face value, go for Fire Force. But if you want something deeper to connect to, Fire Force unfortunately is not going to do that for you. But that being said, I hope this was helpful for some of you who may not have watched it. For some of you who think Fire Force is not that great, tell me what you think. Do you agree with what I've said about Fire Force, about it being great, apart from the fact that it doesn't have this major theme? Or do you think that there's other faults, major faults with Fire Force, which even if it did have a theme that I'm talking about, right, that it wouldn't be as great as some of these other top tier series? Does it have any other major faults or something that you think is just really bad about it? Or do you think that it's really great and underrated and I've missed something about the whole story? Let me all know all your thoughts down below. If this is your first time on my channel, I normally make One Piece videos, but just like now, I will probably make other videos talking about my other thoughts in about other series I'm watching. And yeah, feel free to let me know if you have something you want me to talk about as well. Watch some of my other videos if you have time. If not, at least thank you for watching this video. This is King KZ. I'll see you in the next one.